On this wonderful day, trains and other planes on the transit system, baby had a wonderful life. But until disaster could struck, like this plane right here, also crashed a few days earlier, right before now. On June 1st, 2002, New Jersey Transit train number 408 was going from Evergreen to 30th Street, Philadelphia station. This train was also a GE E60, was being borrowed for services. This train was carrying about 115 people and one guardian on the board that can guard the train, which is now two because of a restriction lateness. On the Lake Country side of the Limited Express, Amtrak trains run on this line, which is for delivery or anything else possible. But until now, this train was headed down the track at about 90 miles per hour. But as the train goes uphill, it slows down to 60 miles per hour, and the driver induces it to 120 between 125 miles per hour. Also, these type curves wouldn't be prohibited for this train, but until disaster could struck. The train was going to pass a power place or a restriction place at about 110 miles per hour now. But this time it was speeding over past the speed limit at about 100 now. Now it's going 120 between 119 miles per hour. Now the train was going over a speed, as it says, advised it to 55. The train was headed down the tracks instead of going the other opposite way. And now it was going the wrong way. But they're gonna make a reroute around because there have been switch problems lately since the train crash that happened on Christmas. As the train approaches Forest Hills, this time the driver make a hard-fought decision. The train was over at about 110 miles per hour, twice the speed motor in the plane or any train that could do this overshot the platform at 54 to 55 miles per hour. The train had the advice to pull with the full emergency brakes on this train to stop it. And now the train had to go reverse. But as the train stopped, passengers felt a hard bang as they pulled to a stop because of those brakes. But they didn't wonder that the GE E60 locomotive brakes weren't able to work since yesterday on the repairs. 408 was now in big trouble for the disaster could struck. This time, another train that could help could be a train or another shuttle bus. Any trains that can help this train could be the P30CH, which is another Amtrak train that could help for areas east. Also, another train that could also help for the system could be the Metroliner bug cars, which is the cabin cars, or the F40PH or the AEM7 that can help push the train back to the yard as the train picks up its passengers. Now there were 104 passengers on board, and the main ones that came in is now 146 passengers on board as the train departs the station. But then a warning gives out onto the station of the platform. The operator realized that the red signal was immediately red. Instead of that, the train left out of the station without a dispatcher, and now the train was running 20 seconds late. The driver now trying to speed up his train to over 120 to 145 miles per hour. But then he didn't know that he was going too fast to slow down to 125 because one of his cars can jump off the rail. But he didn't listen. But then disaster was laying ahead of him because now one of the cars came off the rail, and then disaster struck. Amtrak train number 408 jumps the tracks at about 121 miles per hour after the driver was trying to pull more speed as one of the middle cars jumped the tracks and lead all the cars off the rail. All the passengers on board are dead except for one driver, and one driver dead and one crew injured. What even caused all the passengers to die? As the train exploded into flames as all the cars with gasoline explodes, burn into flames. But then another train was also coming. A Genesis GE train number 26 was also coming at the same way. Both of the drivers didn't know that another train crash just happened, and train number 26 was heading full speed towards it. And now, the driver of the train number of 26, instead of went fast, going over the speed, which is 70, speed over to 110 miles per hour. As it runs down to Buffalo Hills, they realize that one of the track maintenance people realized that the train was heading towards the city and it could crash. They called all emergency services as they were about to be too late for emergency service. They accidentally threw the switch to the middle side and could see the train off the rail, and the train was heading faster over the speed at 145 miles per hour. Disaster was about to lay ahead of him. As the train was passing Grand Central Station at 145 miles per hour and passing the bridge, still going 145 miles per hour, 0.8 miles per hour, going over the speed limit at 65 miles per hour, and then disaster struck. Train number 26, which is the Amtrak train, jumps off the rail, sliding on the side into the snow, ripping the tracks into pieces and bursting into flames also, leaving one coach car on the tracks. Almost all the cars jumped the tracks, still sliding and moving and slowing down. After the crash, this disaster killed 400 between 362 passengers and crew of the drivers and passengers. Train number 62, that was also what came, saw the horrifying crash. After the crash, the train number, which is Amtrak train number 26, was also coming to Evergreen for its last stop, but they were 25 seconds away from the station. Passengers at Evergreen saw the horrifying sight of the Amtrak train jumping off the rails at over 147 miles per hour. This video is also sponsored by Amtrak Guy 365. I made this video for the E60 and train crash. And no problem, Amtrak Guy 365. I made this video just for you and other fans that can like it.
The GE E60S is a family of 6-axle 6,000 NPCC electric locomotives made by GE Transportation Systems between 1972 and 1983. The E60S were produced in several variants for both freight and passenger use in the United States and Mexico. At Wikipedia.